What is your client's landscape? No one? What is a client?
Hello.
Yeah, Madhuri. Go ahead.
Yeah, landscapes are the servers, development, quality, server, and production.
Yeah. Arrangement of servers. So as a consultant, you'll be working in which?
As a consultant, development server.
Okay. And where is your client located?
Client is located in this production server.
What master data you maintain in your
Client
client?
is located.
Yeah, Roshni, go ahead.
Client is located in production server, right?
Client is located in
Production server.
production. No, no. Your client, yeah, you are a consultant. Your client is located always in development server.
Development.
Development server. Okay. See,
Development server. Okay.
yeah, every day before starting the session for 5 minutes, we will have a recap of yesterday's session. Okay. So just to get back all the concepts what we discussed yesterday. Okay. So every day, first 5 minutes, we'll have a small recap of yesterday's session, so that you can refresh the subject. Okay. See, yesterday I was talking about client, right? That means a server, say suppose development server, it's further divided into clients. One is config client, and the next is development client, and we have what's the next one? Unit testing client and sandbox client, right? So this is client. So client. See, in SAP, you might be hearing a word called golden client. Have anyone heard this who is from SAP? Have you heard what is a golden client? Achin, you are from the SAP background?
No.
Yes, yes, I am from SAP background.
Okay, you are from SAP. Okay, in which
I haven't
module you are
heard
working?
about this whole event. SAP CRM.
You are working in CRM. Okay, okay, okay. So anyone heard about a golden client in SAP? Okay, hope so, no, right? Yeah. So golden client means, see, when you buy a Windows 10 or you buy a Microsoft SAP's of sorry, MS Office, or you buy a antivirus, how you receive that product? In a CD, right? In a CD you get it, you install onto your system, right? Like that, SAP application also, it delivers almost in 18 to 24 DVDs. Okay. So for the first time, whatever the SAP application, the standard application without any master data, without any user data, what we receive is called as golden client. That means it's a plain vanilla system. It does not have any user configurations or user master data. It's the standard what SAP provides. Nothing but it's like a master copy. Okay, you know the master copy, right? It's like a master copy, the vanilla system, which doesn't have any data. So let me show you the golden client. So what basis consultant will do is, basis consultant will copy golden client to and create these clients. Okay, but never we will touch this golden client. We keep this as a master copy. Why? Because if SAP standards are disturbed, your product warranty is void. Okay, so that will not touch the master copy. At any time, suppose say suppose say, okay, at any time, suppose say in your laptop your Windows is crashed, what you will do? Again, you will put that DVD and install your Windows, right? Like that, if something happens in your client or configurations, so a basis consultant can fix those by this master copy, the standard configurations. So golden client is nothing but for the first time what SAP delivers to the company, which is like a master copy and a plain vanilla system, which doesn't have any user data or user configurations. So basis consultant will copy and create multiple clients like this. So let me show you what is the difference between user clients and what is a golden client. Okay, Okay, generally golden client series starts with, see, any client number is 3 digit. Okay, any client number is 3 digit, and golden client series starts with 0. It can be 00001000 like this. Okay, so 0 series is always reserved for golden client. Education purpose, IDAS system, we use IDAS system. IDAS means International Demonstration and Evaluation System. Okay, this is for your training purpose. International Demonstration Evaluation System, which SAP has provided you. You see here SAP demo system. So this is a demo system for you to learn the SAP. So this demo system, the learning IDA system series always starts with 8. It can be 800, it can be 810, 811, 812, whatever it is. But this series starts with 8. And the real time when you work, your config client, this all, that means you are free to use any series from 1 to 7, but not 0 or but not 8. Okay, these are reserved. This is reserved for the golden client and this is reserved for the education purpose. So yesterday Madhuri was telling that her client number in the real time is 101, right? So like this, your config, like tomorrow in the interview they ask you, okay, what is your client number? You can tell 101. That's it. But there is no standard. Why? Because I have seen some companies like say in Pune, Infosys, they are using a series starting with 0. But this is not SAP best practices. Why? Because all the time you need to follow the SAP best practices. So SAP best practices, your series should be 1 to 7. It can be anything, 101, 201, 301, 401, 501, 601, 701, anything. But it should not start with 0 and it should not start with 8. So let's see what's the difference between a golden client and a user client. So don't worry about this SAP system login and this all things as of now. We will, when it comes again back, I'll tell you. But now just to show you, I'll log in into two clients. So once we see this, then we'll go to the greenfield implementation project. Okay, so I'm just logging in to see client. So whenever you want to start configuration, that means the first activity whatever you do in your job is you log into SAP system to do the configurations. When you want to log in, you need to give the credentials, user ID, password along with this client ID. Here it should be 101 in the real time, 102, 103, 106, whatever it is. But now here I'm trying to log in with 000. 000 is golden client. Okay, you can see here I am in which client now. It's in golden client. Okay, so now I'll run a query saying that I want to know who are my customers in US. I want to know all the customers who are residing in US. So let me just find out. So it will take little time to open. Okay, so now I'm trying to find my all customers who are located in the region US. Yeah, there was some background noise from someone. Can you please mute? Why? Because this sound will be recorded in the video and you will be irritated later. Okay. Uh, okay. When again you are watching this video, it will be an irritation for you with this background noise. Okay. So search. So country US. I'm searching with country US. I want to search for all the customers who is located in country US. So see what system says. No values found. When I run this query in this golden client, system says that no values found. The same thing I'll try to run in my 800 client, that is IDAS learning client. Never you will get a chance to view the golden client. Never in the real time. It's out of question. but in other trainings also or never you can see the golden client actually. Many consultants even don't know this terminology like golden client. You see, its system is taking lot of time because it's fetching records. When I run the same query searching for customers in US, system is taking a lot of time. I'm in 800 client. Why? Because there are a lot of records here. So just let's see that. By the time it opens. So, okay, it will open. It is taking a lot of time. Why? Because it's fetching the records. So by the time now you should understand, right, what is the difference between the golden client and a standard user client. This is an user client, okay, and golden client is a plain vanilla system which doesn't has any user data or any user configuration. So it says that no values found. But same here, system will pull lot of records of all the customers who are in the region US. So this is client, okay. This is client and this is golden client, user client, and training client. Like this we have different clients, okay. So tomorrow in the real time you will be working as a functional consultant in config client. In the config client you will be working. So when yesterday I was saying, right, a client, what is a client? Anyone? What is a client? A client is a which has its own set of master data, which has its own database, tables, and configurations, right? So if I create some customer here, that customer is for only 800 client. If I go to 801 client, I cannot see that there. Okay, so that is client. Okay, so I hope now you understood what is development server and the client, and what is the difference between a golden client, education client, and a user client. So now today let's start the actual concepts, that is implementation project, greenfield implementation project. So as I told you, for sure they'll ask in the interview, have you been part of any greenfield implementation? Say yes. Okay, so from today you can say yes. So first let's see as roles and responsibilities of a SD consultant in an implementation project. As we already discussed, as a consultant, once you got selected into any job, you will be putting either into an implementation project, support project, rollout project, or upgrade project. You'll be put into any one of these projects. So first let us learn about what is your role and responsibilities in the implementation project. So what is implementing of SAP? It's nothing but configuring client's business process into SAP for the first time or newly is called as implementation project. So throughout the training we will be taking two model companies. One is Galaxy Pharmaceuticals and one is Maruti Automobiles, and we'll try to discuss all the scenarios adapting to do these two industries and two companies. So the idea is by end of the training you should be you should learn, you should be perfect with two implementations and two industries. So for our discussion sake, our client is, client means our customer. Here our client is nothing but customer, okay. It's called as Galaxy Pharmaceuticals, and we have different companies here, IBM, Accenture, and Capgemini. They are called as implementation partners. So every company, every implementation partner company like IBM, Accenture, Capgemini, TCS, Infosys, Wipro, every company will have BDMs, that means business development managers. So they are responsible to get new business to the company, that means new projects to the company. Okay, so what is the activity of a marketing team or a sales team in any organization? To search and identify potential customers, right? Prospects. So whenever they find a prospect, they will approach, they pitch in a sales call, and they try to convince them, give presentations and tell the pros and cons of the application. So like that, you can see here the BDMs of all these three companies has approached Galaxy Pharmaceuticals and whatnot. They'll tell everything, like saying that convince them, saying that your competitors were already using and gaining this advantage out of SAP, like this, lots of things. Okay, so once the BDMs has given a presentation and everything, okay, Galaxy Pharmaceuticals is convinced now and they want to go for SAP. Okay, so once they want to go for SAP, what they do, they'll ask for RFP or RFQ. That is nothing but like a request for proposal or request for quotation. So can we give a quotation immediately as and when they ask? Is it possible?
No.
It's not possible because we don't know in how many countries this Galaxy Pharmaceutical operates. We don't know what materials they manufacture. We don't know how many plants they have, and we don't know how they sell the materials, through which channel they sell the materials. We don't know this all information. Without knowing this, we cannot give a quotation immediately. So what these BDMs will do? Every company will have a pre-sales team. Okay, so every company will have a pre-sales team, and these BDMs will send this pre-sales team to the Galaxy Pharmaceuticals and have a meeting with the vice presidents or general managers and collect all the details. Then they'll be sending a quotation. So for our discussion's sake, throughout the training, we'll take IBM as the implementation partner. So consider that Galaxy Pharmaceutical has given the project to IBM. And who is the implementation partner for Galaxy Pharmaceutical now? Anyone?
IBM.
IBM, right? And you are a consultant with which company?
IBM.
IBM. Okay. Okay. So if the guys who is not having SAP experience and who is going fresh to the job with some 4 or 5 years experience, your work location is IBM. Okay, your work location is IBM. You are working for IBM as a contract employee, but your on-roll company is some XYZ, whatever the consulting, you would take the documents. Okay, your on-roll company is XYZ something, which is a consultancy which outsource you to the IBM, but your work location is IBM, and in your resume also you'll mention as IBM. You are working with IBM, that's it. In the interview, if they ask you, for sure, when you put IBM, Accenture, like these companies, for sure when you go to the interview, they'll ask you the first question, okay, IBM, okay, you are a contract or a permanent employee. So when you say contract, okay, then they will ask you, okay, what is your payroll company? Then you should tell this company. Sometimes there is a chance they may be asking a question saying that, why you have not mentioned your payroll company in your resume? Why you mentioned IBM? Why you not mentioned this? It's a tricky question. You can handle that. You can tell them that, okay, I was working with IBM since 2 years, so I thought that this would be the right thing to put in the resume, but it's not a problem for me like that. Okay, you can manage that. Don't worry about that. Okay, so you are recruited by XYZ and outsourced to IBM, and you will be working at IBM as a consultant to implement SAP for the Galaxy Pharmaceuticals. Okay, and this IBM is called as implementation partner. Okay, so when suppose say you buy a property, what you do when you want to buy a property, you enter into an agreement, right? Okay, you enter into an agreement or a contract, something like this. Like that, whenever Galaxy Pharma is giving a project to IBM, they enter into agreement and everything. So they start a method called SAP methodology. I hope you guys are from software industry and you might be knowing SDLC. Anyone know what is an SDLC?
Software development life cycle.
Software development life cycle, or we have waterfall model. Like these different models or methodologies or guidelines. That means if you follow these methodologies or guidelines, you can finish your project within timeline, within budget, and within the scope. Okay, like that, SAP has its own methodology, its own guidelines, which is called as SAP methodology, which is called as accelerated SAP methodology. So accelerated SAP methodology is the guidelines to implement SAP so that you can finish the project within the budget and within the timeline. Why? Because see, SAP is not all the time 100% success. SAP success rate is only 60%. SAP success rate is 60%. I know a company in Andhra Pradesh which is a Navratna, central government Navratna company. SAP implementation has been failed not once, twice. Twice SAP implementation has failed for a Navratna steel company in India. And SAP itself with other partner has come and implemented SAP for free of cost for the third time. At the third time it was success. You know, because such a Navratna company, billion-dollar company, if SAP implementation fails, no one will buy SAP, right, for a steel company. So that's the reason SAP has come along with one another partner and implemented SAP for free of cost. I will also share that BBP with you later. Okay. So SAP success rate is not 100% all the time. Why? Because there are major failures in SAP implementations. So there can be many reasons. Okay, there can be many reasons. The consultants are not that efficient sometimes, or sometimes companies doesn't want change. Why? Because change will always have a resistance, right? If you remember in 80s, late 80s and 90s, when government want to implement, introduce computers into the bank, when government want to computerize all the banks, you know the agitations and resistance. But now, can you imagine without online banking and mobile banking or computer in a bank? We cannot even imagine, right? Now, without a bank, without a computer. So, change will always have a resistance initially, but to survive, you need to have it. So, as many companies, why? Because they may fear that their jobs might be lost, or they might be doing some like malpractice, selling the scraps or weighing low of the materials. So they might be doing some illegal things. If SAP comes, everything is streamlined. So that's the reason they don't want to implement SAP. So there will be a lot of issues. So SAP success rate is not 100% all the time. There are a lot of failures of SAP also. But if you follow this method, it assures that at least the project should be, if you don't have this kind of issues like say resistance, or you don't have issue with the, you have a very good competency of consultants, your project should be 100% success if you follow this method called as SAP methodology. And it's also called as SAP roadmap, accelerated SAP roadmap. And accelerated SAP roadmap has 5 phases. It is divided further into 5 phases. Okay, so let's see what are the phases in the SAP methodology. The first is project preparation phase, and second is business blueprinting phase, and the third is realization phase, fourth is final preparation phase, and fifth is go live and support phase. These are the 5 phases of SAP methodology which will help you to implement SAP step-by-step guidelines. Okay, very important interview question, very important interview question. When you go to the interview, they'll for sure ask this question to you to test whether you are real time or not. From which phase of project you involved? From which phase of project you involved? Okay, so the guys don't know, 80% fail to answer this question, saying that I was involved in the project from project preparation phase, but as a consultant you will be involved only from business blueprinting phase. As a consultant, you will not have any role in the BBP phase. You see here, as a consultant, we don't involve in project preparation phase. As a consultant, we involve only from second phase, that is BBP phase. But the guys who don't know these concepts are not real time. I have seen 80% people failing answering this question. Okay, so for sure they ask this question to test whether you are real time or not. That is, from which phase of the project you are involved. So always tell either BBP or realization. Why? Because no company will hire you at this phase. Okay, why? Because you don't know anything. The crux of the projects lies in second and third phase. If you are not in part of this phase, even though you are part of this phase, no use. Why? Because companies don't recruit here. So you can tell I was involved from BBP phase, or you can tell I was involved from realization phase. Okay, but as a consultant, never you will be involved in a project preparation phase. Okay, but we'll try to learn what is there in the project preparation phase also. Why? Because we should have a complete holistic understanding of the concepts. Okay, so you should know what happens throughout the industry and throughout the implementation project. So we'll try to also learn what happens and who will be involved in this project preparation phase. Okay, so let's start discussing. Okay, let me show you the SAP roadmap. So this is the SAP roadmap: project preparation and business blueprinting, realization, final prep, and go live and support. Okay, so let's start with the final project preparation phase, and each phase has again activities, different activities. Okay, every phase has different activities. So let's see what are the activities we have in every phase. So the first phase is project preparation phase. So just now we discussed that at the project preparation phase, as a consultant we don't involve, but who involves in this? Let's see. So in project preparation phase, the management from the implementation partner and the management from the client means Galaxy Pharma. Okay, so these guys would be involved. These guys would be involved. So you see, management from the implementation partner means it can be BDM, it can be delivery head, it can be technical experts, and project management. Only these guys would be involved in the project preparation phase. And coming to client, that is Galaxy Pharma, Vice President IT, Vice President Finance, Project Manager, and their technical head. So these guys would be involved from the Galaxy Pharma client side. Okay. So these guys would be involving in this phase of project preparation, and they will be discussing different things. Okay, and we classify them as activities, and let's see what all the activities they do. So project preparation phase. Generally what they do in project preparation phase is, during this phase the team goes through initial planning of everything, the project. That means goal setting. The objective of IBM and the objective of Galaxy Pharma should be same. That means why Galaxy Pharma is implementing SAP, it has some objective, right? It want to achieve something. It want to streamline its supply chain management, or it want to streamline its sales process, right? So that's the reason they are implementing SAP. That's their objective. And IBM also should know the same objective of your Galaxy Pharma. Then only you will be in the same wavelength and your project would be success. So defining the project goals and objectives. The next is implementation strategy. How you want to implement. Arun, can you please mute? Arun, please mute. Yeah. So implementation strategy. So clarifying the scope of implementation. What is scope? Anyone? What do you mean by scope in general terminology?
Scope means what will be the beneficial to the both the parties.
Yeah. Scope means possibilities. What all the possibilities?
Scope is
Okay. Scope means possibilities. That means clarifying the possibilities of implementation. What is possible and what is not possible. Why? Because as I told you, we can do everything. 99% we can achieve in any client requirements, but subject to some limitations. Why? Because SAP application, SAP ERP suite is common for cement industry, steel industry, pharma industry. The raw material for pharma industry and steel industry is the same or different? Different, right? And the products they sell is different. The way they sell is different, right? So, but that's the reason SAP fits into company's requirement only 70 to 80%. It doesn't fit 100% all the time. So this 20% you need to customize according to client's requirement. That is nothing but scope. What is possible and what is not possible with the standard SAP. So you need to clarify to the customer. If not, customer thinks that everything is within the same budget and within the scope. So that's the reason they discuss, clarify the scope of the implementation and establish different teams for the project success, like a licensing team, steering committees, different committees. And the implementation sequence, in what sequence they want to implement. Say suppose I haven't implemented SAP ERP suite, but I am implementing CRM. Is there any use? Zero use. Why? Because CRM want backend as an SD to confirm something. CRM can take an order from customer for a spare part, but To check the availability of spare part, whether it's there or not, it need to talk to an SD system and come back. That means ERP system, and it should come back. Then only it confirm saying that, okay, I can deliver this spare part to you on so and so date like this. It can only take the order, that's it. But to confirm whether the quantity is available or not, on what day it is available, it need to talk to an ERP system. So without an ERP, implementing ERP suite, implementing a CRM is waste. Okay. So first, in coming to the modules also, in the ERP suite, we have modules are like SD, MM, FI, PP, right? So first I want to implement SD module. Is any use? Nothing, right? No use. Why? Because I don't have any product to sell. Why? Because PP module has not been implemented, so no production. And the MM module has not implemented, so there is no raw material for PP to manufacture. FI module is not implemented, so that to procure the raw material you need finance, right? So finance department, they haven't released the amount, so no use. So the sequence something like, it's like this: FI, MM, PP, and the last is SD. So FI will release the finance, MM will procure the raw material, and PP will manufacture the goods, and SD will sell the goods. Okay, so what sequence you want to implement the modules, and how you want to go with the implementation sequence, everything they discuss in the implement sequence. And finalizing the teams, that means from the company side, who are the consultants, and coming to the IBM, that is the implementation partner side, who are the users or core users we call them, will be in touch with the consultants to share the company's requirements and knowledge. Then last we take a sign off and freeze the requirements and start into the project. So let's see these activities in detail. Let's see the activities. The first activity is, see, if you want to buy a laptop, once you buy a laptop, the next is what operating system you want to have it. Whether you want to go for Linux, Ubuntu, or you want to go for a Windows, that is XP or a 7, 8, 8.1 or 10. You have options, right? Like that, when you want to implement SAP, first you want to choose is user licenses. SAP is not a outright, you cannot buy SAP software or application outright. That means I pay 100 crore and I want to buy SAP. No, you cannot buy SAP application outright. Say suppose antivirus, you are buying your antivirus in the laptop for lifetime. No, right? You just purchase license and you renew it every year. Okay, you cannot buy your antivirus or Windows or MS Office outright. You purchase only user license, and every year you need to renew it. Like that, SAP also you cannot buy outright, and you need to purchase the user license. Okay, and each user license of SAP cost 80,000 Indian rupees. Each single SAP user license cost 80,000 Indian rupees. And Galaxy Pharma identified that they have 1,000 users. See, you buy one antivirus or you buy one Windows. In how many systems you can install? Only one, right? One license is for only one system. Like that, Galaxy Pharma has identified that there are 1,000 users for them who would be using system, SAP system. Okay, that means how many license they want to buy? 1,000 users into 80,000 rupees. 8 crores they need to spend only on the license. SAP implementation is so expensive. It will cost not less than 30 to 50 crore Indian rupees for a single implementation. For single implementation, this is the cost they need to shell out. On top of that, they need to pay the implementation fees or charges to the IBM. Again, that could be 20 to 30 crores depending upon the magnitude of the project. So implementing SAP is a huge expensive. And see, if any company want to implement, I will be using a word called capable. Why? Because all the companies cannot implement SAP. They should be capable of implementing SAP. Why? Because if you want to implement SAP, you should be in a position to shell out 10% of your annual turnover on SAP. You should spend at least 10% of your annual turnover on SAP. Then only you can implement SAP. Okay, then only your company can run on SAP. So it's so expensive. And you know, if for a 5,000, suppose say some company is 500 crore and SAP has been implemented in this company, automatically this company's valuation will jump to 700 crores. Nothing, you need not to do anything. No profit increase or nothing. Just by implementing SAP to a company of 500 crores, the valuation of the company will jump by 700 crores. Why? Because everything is streamlined. Your supply chain is streamlined. There is no wastage of raw materials. Your delivery is on time to the customers, and the system is timely reminding you to collect the payments. Okay, everything is streamlined. So a company's valuation will be jumping like this once you implement SAP in any organization. There are many companies which have sold their companies by implementing SAP and taking profit of 100, 200 crores more than what they actually get. Okay, so yeah, so user license, that's the first activity what they do. Okay, why as a consultant you don't have any activity in user license in a project preparation phase? Why? Because as a consultant you don't have any role right here to decide. Deciding a 8 core figure, it's not a consultant job. It should be done at a project manager, vice president's level. So that's the reason as a consultant you will not have any role here. Okay, okay, and 80,000, it's not the money what you need to pay one time to the customer. Every year, sorry, SAP, every year you need to pay 22% of this 80,000 as a license fee. That means 20 if Galaxy Pharma has to pay this 22% out of this 8 crore as a license fee, that is annual maintenance cost. That means every year. See, once you buy antivirus only once, but every year what happens, or every 15 days what happens, you get updates, right? Product updates, you get bug fixes. So SAP also provides support and bug fixes, product update. When you pay this fees, 22% annual maintenance cost. Okay, so this is a user license activity what they decide upon and finalize the license. And then let's see the next activity. Next activity is landscape. So we know what is a landscape. It's the arrangement of servers, and we have 3 servers, and always you stick to the SAP best practices, and that is 3 servers: development server, Q&A server, quality and assurance server, and production server. And each server of SAP will cost not less than 1.8 crore. Each server will cost you 1.8 crore Indian rupees. Okay, so they will be deciding on the servers whether to go for 2 server, 3 server, 4 server, whatever it is, they will decide. Then after, they start deciding on sizing. What is sizing? Anyone? Do you have any hardware knowledge? Anyone? What is sizing? Sizing means deciding upon the configuration of server. You want to buy a laptop, you decide depending upon your requirement, right? If you are a graphic guy or a gaming guy, you will be going for high processor and graphic cards. Okay, you are having lot of documents or to save, then you will go for 2 TB hard drive, like that. So depending upon your requirement, you configure your laptop, right? Like that they do sizing. Sizing means deciding on what should be the hard drive, what should be the RAM, what should be your rest of the components, everything. Okay, so they will be doing the sizing, and the most popular manufacturers who sell these servers in the market are HP, IBM, HCL, Dell, and these all guys. Okay, so after deciding on the landscape, the next what they decide is infrastructure. Okay, infrastructure means PCs. Okay, you are buying 1,000 licenses and 1,000 pieces. 1,000 pieces means you need to have power connection, you need to have LAN connection, cabling, lot of things. So a lot of infrastructure is needed, so they will be deciding on infrastructure. So how many pieces they want to buy? 1,000 pieces. But Galaxy Pharma is existing in since last 10 years. They already have some computers, so I need not to buy 1,000 computers. But Galaxy Pharma already have 500 computers, but out of that 200 does not support SAP. Okay, only 200 computers will support SAP and rest will not support. So how many they need to buy now? 800 new PCs and 200 already existing PCs, 1,000 PCs totally. So they decide on how many number of PCs, what configuration they want, whether thin client or whatever, everything they decide here. The next is server environment. Server environment, it can be physical environment or it can be virtual. Virtual in the sense firewalls, antivirus, lot of things you will be having, right, to secure the data. So these all things, and deciding where to place the server. Can I place my server in Uttarakhand, or can I place my server in Tokyo? It's a high risk, right? Why? Because there will be a lot of natural calamities. My data center should be always safe and secure. There should not be any downtime. So they'll be deciding where to place the server. Okay, most probably the companies will be placing their servers in their plant itself, and this is also an interview question they ask sometimes. Actually, even though you don't have activity here, they ask this question in the interview: where does your servers located? Okay, let me show you the question also. I have in my document also. Where are your servers located, or some question. Users uploading. If you see the question, please let me know. Show month, cut our role time. You see here where the servers are located. So sometimes there is a chance that they ask this question also. Even though you don't have a role in the project preparation phase, you can tell them that, okay, it's located at my client's plant. No further argument. Okay, so they will not even again question you. If they are located in my client's plant, why? Because plant is client's own premise, security wise, and they have ample space. Why? Because to place the servers they need some 2000 to 3000 SFT. You can understand the real estate cost in Mumbai, Tokyo, Sydney, and in New York, very expensive. Instead of putting that into the data centers are so expensive in the cities, they can happily put that into their plant. Why? Because it's their own premise, less cost, and secured. And server room security, see, no person except the basis consultants and except the power user. You are a CEO, you are a COO, you will not have an access to the server room. It's so security. Okay, high security. Only the power users and only the basis consultants will be having access to the server room. Okay, and the temperature requirement. So you know our laptops itself produce lot of heat, right? Then you can, why? Because each server is almost like a fridge or a huge washing machine that size. So they produce a lot of heat. So temperature requirement. So you need to keep them cool all the time. So at what temperature your server should be all the time? Okay. See, it was heavily raining at my side. There might be a power cut by chance. Okay. So if it is a power cut, I'll let you know. Okay. Yeah, so let's go ahead. The next is, see, it's not necessary that you need to place all your 3 servers in a single location. At a single location you not to place. My development server can be in Germany, Munich, and my Q&A server I can put it in Sydney, Australia, and I can have my production server in Tokyo, Japan. I can distribute them. You need not to have these things here. And I hope you all guys are little software, and you are doing projects for US, right? You are sitting in India and you are doing projects for US or UK or Australia, right? How you are connected? How you are doing this? With a VPN connectivity, right? Virtual private network connectivity, T1, T2 lines, a dedicated network between your companies, so that your data is sent fast and very secured. So you can distribute your servers across the locations and you can connect them. So these all things, infrastructure, they decide under this activity. After this activity, the next activity is identifying the team. Okay. And very important interview question they ask in interviews: what is your team size? This question can be in your first 10 questions of any interview you go. This question can be first 10 questions. You will find this: what is your team size? Okay. And many, see, why many people fail in interview is because this reason. Why? Because you focus more on SD concepts and subject. You know all, whatever the question I ask you can answer, but you don't prepare for this real time and you cannot answer this. So that reason you'll be failing in the interviews. So the guys who is going with this solid preparation, you'll be clearing your interview in first 1 or 2 interviews, you'll get a job. Why? Because we are trying to learn and we are trying to cover every possible question. Okay. So what is your, if you now you are preparing, so you know the answer, but if you don't prepare, what you will say? you'll panic at that time immediately. If they ask a question, what is your team size, you don't know, you did not prepare, you are never a real time, so you will tell some figure vaguely, okay, 15. Then immediately they'll ask you, what is SD out of that, what is MM out of that, what is FI out of that, what is ABAP out of that. This should match this figure. It cannot be 13 or it should not be 17. If it is anything 13 or 17, you are booked. Okay, so that's the reason we will try to prepare for every possible question. Okay, so any domestic project, that means the company is operating only within one location, it's called as domestic project. In the domestic project, the team size can be up to 15 and SD out of that can be 3. If it is MNC project, like it is distributed multiple locations, they have operations in 100 countries like this, then the team size can be up to 60, and out of this SD consultants can be 10. See, this is not a standard thing. There is no fixed size like this, you should be only this or like. Why? Because I know one company which is implemented by Infosys Pune. They have 200 SD consultants. The total team size of the project is 700 consultants, and SD alone are 200 consultants in one single project. So there is no fixed size, but you stick to some figure. Why? Because in interviews they ask you, they cannot question why only 15, why only 60, why only 10. They cannot question you. If you say 10, that's fine, that's it. No further questions. So you stick to this figure. If they ask you what is your team size, tell that 60. Okay, out of that we are 10 SD consultant, that's it. No further questions, and try to eliminate as much as possible the subsequent questions. Never try to get any subsequent question. Okay, your answer should be like that. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead. So yeah, team size. So team size, we just discussed. The team size is for any project. If it's a domestic project, it can be 15, or if it's a MNC project, it can be 60. Okay, and here Galaxy Pharma will list out the core users. Okay, who is a core user? Core user is nothing but he is the employee who is working with Galaxy Pharma since last 15 years or 20 years. He can be a sales manager, he can be a general manager, okay, who is having very good knowledge, and who knows all the requirements of the company coming to the sales and distribution point of view. Excuse me. Okay, why? Because you are identified an SD consultant, right? But what you'll configure, what is Galaxy Pharma's requirement, how you will get this, that you will get through core users. Core user means he can be a general manager sales, he can be a senior sales manager who is working since last 15 to 20 years with these Galaxy pharmaceutical companies, who knows in and out of Galaxy Pharma and its requirements and sales process and everything, so that he can share you all the knowledge. Like that, they'll be identifying one core user for every department. So for finance, he can be a senior accountant manager, or he can be a general manager finance. For MM, he can be a store supervisor or a store manager. Okay, so like that, they will be identifying for every department. They will identify one guy, and they will engage and for this particular project. Okay, so that from tomorrow you should be in touch with this core user, so that he will be sharing you all the requirements, and you should configure in SAP. Okay, so Galaxy Pharma will list out all the core users, and IBM will list out all the consultants. So team identification will be done in this phase of fourth activity. The next is consultant facilities. Say suppose you are working in a project which is US project. Okay, so what happens? One consultant from each module will go to on-site, right? So one SD consultant, one MM consultant, one FI consultant, one PP consultant, one ABAPer, one basis. So one consultant from every module will go to on-site. So okay, let's see the tenure of a project. An average tenure of a domestic project is 9 months, and average tenure of a MNC project is 18 months. That means, you see, Out of that, the first phase project preparation itself will take 3 months. Whatever we are discussing in this 40 minutes or 1 hour now, they will take 3 months to decide. We are just discussing within 40 minutes, but they will decide everything in 3 months. Why? Because they lots of money, right? 8 crores for license, that many PCs, VPN. It's not that easy to decide immediately. So this is phase-wise distribution of time, how much you need to spend. BBP phase, project preparation phase 3 months, BBP phase 6 months, realization 6 months, final prep 3 months, and go live is 3 months. But I have seen a project finishing in this timeline or this timeline. Always it will be escalated to something like this, or this can be something like this. Okay, okay, up to this it is fine, but it is going anything beyond like this, say 18 months, and this is going like 30 months. That means your project is going to fail. Your implementation is going to fail. Your scope of the project, the scope gathering of your project is not correct. That's the reason it's taking this much time, and ultimately your project is going to fail. Okay, so this is the average time. Okay, that means these consultants who is going on site should stay this much time over there. When they stay there, who will be bearing their expenses? Why? Because when they are at on site, they need food, accommodation, and they need infrastructure. That means they need a laptop, they need a Wi-Fi, they need phone, internet connection, lot of things, right? Who will bear these expenses? Whether a Galaxy Pharma will bear. Why? Because by end of the project, these expenses can be a $500,000, right? $500,000 is not a small amount. So they should first decide who will be providing this all infrastructure. So in the accommodation, consultant facilities, in the consultant facilities, they will be deciding on accommodation, food expenses, travel expenses, work environment, that is phone, laptop, internet connection, everything. Okay, who will be providing this all things? Okay, after freezing this, then next they'll decide on go live date. Go live date means, say suppose I'm starting my project today on 14th of September, and it's a domestic project, means 9 months. So plus 9 months. So what it can be, this is 3 months and 6 months. Okay, I'm saying that I want to start my SAP system. That means I want to create transactions and master data from 1st July of 2017. This is my go live date. That means by this date you should hand over the SAP system to client so that he will be start using the SAP system. That's called as go live date. So they'll fix that and they'll share you with you. Then next is scope of project. Just now what we have discussed. Scope means possibilities. What is not possible in standard SAP, we call them as gap. And gaps. Okay, let me tell one example of a gap. I'll tell you one example of a gap. Okay. Free goods. You know free goods, right? That means you buy one get one. Buy one get one, like kind of things, free.
Hello.
Yeah, Madhuri, go ahead.
Just a small question.
Yes,
But
go ahead.
what actually happens in business blueprint or realization phase in project
Okay.
before go live?
Mm-hmm.
What just in 1 to 2 words sentence, not a description. Just
Okay.
wanted to
Okay.
know
You
that.
want to know what happens in BBP and other phases. Okay. In the BBP phase, as a consultant, I told you, you'll be involving from this phase, and you collect all the requirements from the customers. Okay. You collect all the requirements from customers in the BBP phase, and you prepare a as is to be document. Then next you go to realization phase. In the realization phase, you configure all the requirements of customers into the SAP. And in the fourth phase, you do final preparation. That means you do the testing, and you cut off the legacy system and start using the SAP system. This is what will be happen. We will be discussing this all things very in depth. All the 5 phases we will discuss in very in depth. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, yeah. And once after the finishing session, most probably by 10 o'clock, I'll share this document with you. So go through this document. You'll have a complete idea.
Yes, sure.
Okay, yeah. So go live date and pro scope. Okay, let me tell you one gap. What is a gap? So just let me give you some idea. Free goods. That means your company is saying that for every 100 goods of X material, customer buys every 100 X materials, I want to give free goods. That means if customer buy 100 material, he 120 materials. He place an order for 100, he'll get 120, right? So company, your client management has gathered and taken a strategic decision saying that for every X material 100 quantity, we want to give 200 quantity, 20 quantity as free. So they thought that in this holiday season with this promotion, the sales will be hiked up, and they want to review this decision after 1 month. But 1 month after, when they gathered to review this decision, and they noticed that their sales has not been grown up. There is no increase in the sales, even though they offered this promotion. Why? Because in SAP, free goods will be determined only in order. Free goods will be determined only in order. It will not be determined in quotation. That means, see, your customers, their customers are inquiring about this product X material, okay, and the company Galaxy Pharma is sending quotation to their customers saying that X material 100 quantity. But as I told you, free goods will not be determined in quotation. So they are not seeing this 20 quantity offered as free goods in quotation. So it's not encouraging to the customers, and they are not paying, placing the orders. But when I create an order for X material free goods, system is giving 20 quantity. So this is a gap. Gap means which is not possible in the standard SAP. So if you want this free goods to be determined, that means when you create a quotation for X material 100 quantity, you also want 20 quantity to be determined in the quotation, that is free goods. You need to enhance it with the help of a BAPR. This is called as a gap, which is not possible in the standard SAP. So whether you want to handle this requirement in the implementation project or later. Why? Because this one requirement what I am discussing now here, for 2 consultants plus 1 ABAPer, it will take not less than 6 months to develop. It's such a huge requirement. So will company spend 6 months on one requirement in implementation project? Why? Because this 9 months there is no productivity until, and company has spent almost 20 crores or 30 crores in this 9 months. Companies will calculate interest. So that's a decision of the companies whether they want to handle this change request in the implementation project level or later at the support level and the maintenance level. Okay, so scope of the project would be decided here, and then next, once everything is done, they'll call for a kickoff meeting. And for sure, this is a very important interview question. They'll ask you in the interviews, have you attended any kickoff meeting? But from now, say yes. Did you attend any kickoff meeting, Madhuri or Achin, Vinod? Did you attend any kickoff meeting?
No.
Oh, Vinod, no. Okay. No, okay, no. You guys haven't attended any kickoff meeting until then. So how you received the KT? How you receive your project KT?
From seniors.
Okay, some seniors. That's it. Okay, but
they might have attended the kickoff meeting.
Okay. So there is no formal kickoff meeting in your organizations, or you might not be attending it. Your seniors might be attending it.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
So once finishing of this, they'll call for a kickoff meeting. Kickoff meeting is nothing but they'll invite all the stakeholders of the project. That means consultants, core users, vice presidents, everyone. All the stakeholders, they'll call for a meeting, and kickoff meeting has some agenda, what to discuss on that. So in that, they'll be introducing you to the client. Only at this point, you know that, okay, there is a new project coming to the company. Until now, it's everything confidential. You don't even know that these discussions are happening. Only at this point, you'll be knowing that, okay, a new project is coming to the company. So they'll introduce to you about the client, rules and regulations of the client, roles and responsibility of a consultant. Why roles and responsibilities? Because I'm telling that, what is the team size if it's a domestic project? Anyone? What is the team size?
15.
15. Out of that, how many SD?
3.
3. All 3 are SD consultants?
Yes.
Yes. But one is associate SD consultant, one is an SD consultant, and one is a senior SD consultant. All are not same experience level. There are different experience levels. That's the reason we have 3 guys, right? So this guy's roles and responsibility is different. This guy's roles and responsibility is different. This guy's roles and responsibility is different. That's the reason they discuss what is the roles and responsibilities of consultants. What is the roles and responsibilities of a consultant, senior consultant, and associate consultant. Okay, so they will be discussing this all things. And see, we also have shadow consultants. Anyone have what is an idea of who is a shadow consultant?
Yes.
Yeah, what's that? Shadow consultant.
Shadow consultant not directly involved into the expense to the client,
Yeah.
but just shadowing under the senior consultant or the
Yeah.
MD consultant.
Yeah. So shadow
The
consultant.
freshers actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Campus freshers, campus recruiters, campus recruitees. Okay. Shadow consultants involved in this project, but they are not on the roles of this project. That means they are not getting paid from this particular project. They are getting paid from some miscellaneous, but they are not paid from this project. Shadow consultants involved in this project, but not on roles of this project. They can be freshers, campus recruitments, like they involve in document preparations and some handiworks for the consultants. Okay. And the next is core user list. They'll share, and go live date they'll share, and starting date, from what date you want to start. Okay. So once the kickoff meeting is done, they'll give some 1 week, 10 days to you. You need to pack everything and start going to the on-site. Okay. So that's what the project preparation phase. So this is what you will be doing completely in the project preparation. Okay. So tomorrow we will see BBP phase, very important phase. Why? Because from this phase onwards, as a consultant, you will be involved. So this is so important for you. So tomorrow we'll discuss this. You see, as an SD consultant, you are involved from business blueprint phase. Okay. So any questions for today? Anyone? Anyone? Any questions?
Sir, Vinod here.
Yeah, Vinod, go ahead.
Is there anything like training phase, providing training to the end users?
Yes, yes.
That after
Yes,
implementation
yes.
of SAP?
Yes, that is after the realization. Once you configure everything into the SAP system, then you prepare the documents, user manual document, config document, everything. Why? Because when you give training, they should have something in hand to refer, right? So you prepare the documents, hand over them, and you give the training. We'll cover that later. Let me show you by the time where it is, so that you'll have some idea. You see, training to the users. You will give almost 10 to 15 days.
Okay.
The average training time would be 10 to 15 days.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Any more questions? Anyone?
Yes, sir, I want to ask one thing.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Is it Vinod?
Hello.
Use this. Your
No,
name?
Rajesh here.
Yeah, Rajesh. Rajesh, go ahead.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah. Clear. It's clear.
Okay. Just wanted to know, like,